Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Fresco Blends, aka Young Fresco, aka just Fresco. Does not matter, you can call me either or. First off, if you're new to the channel, just want to welcome you. Thank you for tuning in. I am fairly new at this. Not gonna lie, I've been a bit inconsistent with it, man. YouTube is very challenging. There's a lot of hours and editing that goes into it, and it's a whole lot more difficult than it is using more of the short form content that I'm more familiar with. YouTube is a different ball game with the algorithm and just the camera style. I was already about maybe 2/3 of the way with this haircut when I decided, you know what, let me just record this final side of the haircut and just make a tutorial out of it. And with that said, I'm hoping to come back into this game and, you know, to really go hard and go ham and start doing some more tutorials, because I get a lot of people that ask me questions about the technique that I use, which is what I'm about to show you in this clip. I like to use the fade down technique, reverse fading, down blending, whatever you want to call. It is basically, I fade from the top down. I don't use no guidelines. I don't set in my guideline at first. I have tried multiple techniques in the past, and there is no right or no wrong. This is just my personal favorite. This is my go-to. This is the one when I just need to get clients in and out of the chair. This is my go-to technique, and it's been working for me for years now. So I just figured, you know, I'll make a video out of it, you know, explaining the process just a little bit. It is a short clip. I have not done this in a while, so excuse my voiceover. Yeah, man, again, so just super excited. I'm really looking forward to just dropping some more videos and bringing some more content for you. And with that said, let's just go ahead and jump into this intro, and then we'll play the video. What's good, everybody? Coming in today with a high taper. Now, before we get this started, we're gonna go ahead and just section out the hair from the hair that's about to be cut. And a little tip, I like to use my brush just because I feel like it brushes the hair in, the longer hair into the other longer hair, so we don't gotta worry about cutting any of that unwanted hair. So now we're gonna come in and attack this with a number 3 guard, and you see with my thumb there, I'm trying really hard to make sure that I'm separating the hair that I do want cut from the hair that I don't want to cut, because he doesn't want to cut off any of the longer hair. You're trying to keep the bun going. So we're gonna use our thumb to add that tension to just really try to separate that shorter hair. And again, you know, we're just gonna use our thumb, try to keep those longer strays that fly out. Try to avoid cutting those. But we're attacking this now with a 1.5 guard, and we're going in with an open blade. And you can see right there, I went ahead and closed it up. Now the method that I'm using is the fade down technique and also the skip guard technique. So with the skip guard technique, I'm going from a 3 to a 1.5 to a half, and you'll see as we start doing the blending. But the reason why I do that is just because this technique for me is to just speed up the hair cutting process. Now you can see right here, I got the half guard on with an open blade. And this is pretty much like real time, so that way you can kind of get a sense and an idea of how this technique works. Right now I'm kind of going at a little bit of a slower pace just for the sake of the video, but in normal time in the barbershop, man, you know, speed is king, speed is everything. You want to be able to get your clients in and out in an efficient time while still delivering, you know, a quality cut. And for me, that's what this technique does. Now you can see right here, after that half guard, now we're going in with an open blade. And now we're gonna go ahead and close that up midway, and then we're gonna close it up all the way. And now you can see as we're blending, we're working our way down. So wherever we left off from the previous guard or the previous lever, we're just gonna go right beneath that, and we're just gonna keep on following that same pattern, that same system, working our way down. Now I know the fade down technique, it can be a little intimidating for some people. Coming in now with the trimmer, we're just gonna go ahead and ball that out. But yeah, the fade down technique can be a little bit intimidating because people tend to get lost in the I guess in the systems. But if you really think about it, I mean, you can see right here where I got the 0, the trimmer. It's no different than if you're doing, you know, an actual guideline step-by-step procedure. All it really is just understanding and knowing, you know, the 3 should be at the top, the 1.5 in the middle, the half next, and then, you know, just understanding it's the same steps and the same procedure as if you were punching in the guidelines, but you're just doing it in reverse. And the reason why I use this method so much is because, like I said, we're not punching in guidelines, we're just blending it all the way down, and we don't have to worry about taking out no lines. And you can see right here, you know, the blend, it already looks good. And we hadn't even gone in and detailed yet. That's just going through the steps, going through the process, and just being efficient with the technique. Now even right here, blending in the beard, I really didn't have to use a whole lot of guards. I mean, one, because it was already kind of not the thickest beard, you know, it was a little bit easier to blend in. But in another video I can go into more detail about this, but you can see I'm like lightly blending into the longer hairs. I'm going in with a soft touch, you know, soft strokes, and I'm kind of lightly fading the clipper into the longer hair. I know that that's not the best explanation, and I will have to do another video tutorial specifically for beards, but yeah, I hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. And because we already have the clipper in hand, I went ahead and just used that to debulk some of the hairs that were under the neck. And now we're gonna go ahead and just start doing the lineup process. And you know, with the lineup process, you want to be, you know, light with the touch. You don't want to be too heavy-handed, especially if you got your trimmers zero gapped. Mine's are they're not too zero gapped. I think they're still kind of like out of the box. I think that's the gap that I have on them. But yeah, right now we're just going ahead and we're just prepping the skin. We're just getting the lineup, you know, a little more crispier, because we're gonna come back in with the razor where we're gonna really do the final touches. And we're just cleaning up whatever the clipper didn't do earlier. We're just using the trimmer to just really refine it and get those lines nice and detailed. Okay, now we're coming in and we're doing the hairline. And again, you know, we're just trying to keep this nice and natural. And that's kind of why with the hairline I did opt with a number 3, because usually most people, when they have like these longer hairstyles, like the hairlines tend to come out a bit light. So I went in with a number 3, so it would leave some length and leave that darkness, so it can have that contrast, so that when we did line it up and the hitters, you know, do go in, it looks like a sharp line without the enhancements. Even though we are in a second, we're about to go in with the enhancements. Again, remember, don't forget to follow up with that shaver unless your client requests that you don't. But that shaver, it does help out whenever you go back in there with the razor. It just makes everything so much easier. Now we're coming in and we're doing the detail work. Now the reason why I'm using a different set of clippers is because whenever I do use this method, and this is very important, I always start with a fade blade. Just for one, the fade blade, it just gets closer to the skin, so getting that bald line out is a lot easier. But because I'm gonna come back in for the detail work and I'm gonna use a taper blade. Now with the low pros have that the wedge blade. So it's a little bit different than a taper blade, but overall it's similar and it does exactly what I need it to do. Now the reason why I do this is because the fade blade cuts closer, so when I come back in and do the detail work with a taper blade, it's almost as if it's getting in between those spots that I miss. So normally when I'm doing this technique, I'm just kind of rushing through the process. Not rushing, but I'm moving at an efficient pace, and I'm just trying to bang out the blend so that way towards the end I can come back in and detail when I know I have enough time. And now we're gonna finish it up. I'm gonna come in and just give it a little bit of enhancements. Really don't need to overdo it, because like I said, using that number 3 guard, that left the hairline pretty dark already on the top, so it's just kind of touching up any little light spots. And the same thing with the beard. Normally if they got like really kind of faint beards, like real light beards, I try to go very light with the enhancements, because if you go too heavy, it just looks so unnatural, and I honestly, I don't like it too much. If it's a fuller, darker beard, then yeah, I'll go a little bit heavier, because it's just gonna make it look better, you know, it's gonna have a natural look. And then we're coming in with the razor, as you can see here, just trying to be gentle, make sure you're pulling that skin. And this is the final look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, and we will most definitely be coming back with some more in-depth tutorials. All right, again, like I said, man, that video was very short. I didn't get the whole haircut, but the same steps and the same process, it works all around the blend. It does not matter the haircut, the hairstyle, the hair texture. It works for everybody. I've been using it for years, and it is my go-to technique and my favorite technique. Again, not to say that is the best technique, but it has worked wonders in my career. It has gotten clients in and out of my chair in a efficient time manner, and I don't know, man, I just really like that technique, and I do get asked a lot about it, like I said in the beginning. So I just figured, you know, I'll share some knowledge on it. And again, I do plan on doing some more videos. If there is a certain hairstyle or technique, or you just got any questions, man, please feel free, drop them down in the comments. I will be checking out the comments, and I will be making videos based off of the comments. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I'm very active on both of those platforms. YouTube will now be the third social platform that I will be trying to, I guess, go all in on it, man. It's gonna be a challenge, but hey, man, I'm always up for the challenge. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I'm Fresco Blends. I appreciate you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one.